Progress is progress. Sometimes it's backward progress, other times it's forward progress. We're fixing these lights today. We've got some options to try out to figure out which one's going to be best and have the brightest output for our garage area. Let's get to it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Detached Garage. Today, we are going to try out the options we talked about in the last episode. We're just going to try the strips, though. The fixtures, as I've found out, have quite a long lead time. So what's going to happen is we're going to try out the different strips, the chip-on-board strip, as well as the brighter non-chip-on-board chip, the same manufacturer as what I have up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take two strips down. We are going to take the wire nuts off the side. We're gonna put them side by side, and then we'll take the light meter and we'll measure the light on each one of these existing strips as well as the new strips, and we'll figure out which one has the best output. Also, for the other side of the garage, I have a 10-meter strip, so my solder joints won't fail. We can run the 10 meters and we'll cut it down to the 7 that we need, and we will see what it looks like on the big side of the garage as well. But let's get started on the short side of the garage. All right, guys, so short side of the garage, we've got the 4 strips up here. What I am thinking we are going to do is we're going to use these 2 strips as our test strips. So we are going to pull off the diffuser, we're going to pull off the strip, we're going to take it out all the way across, and then we are going to put the new strip in, and then we'll do the same thing on this one, put the new strip in. Then we will only attach one at a time with the wire nuts. We'll disconnect these, and we will figure out which one has the most light output. So I wanted to show you one of the most difficult parts about removing the strips. So you can see we've got the strip, we've got the adhesive, but this diffuser has such a strong bond here with this snap fit that getting the diffuser off is one of the hardest things to do. So I'm actually gonna try and start up there, see if I can take that one off up there. And then, because I've tried pulling this, I'm actually starting to bend the channel a little bit. So I'm gonna figure this out, but we'll get it down. We've already got one down, so this is the last one to go. I have that side off, all the diffusers off that side, so just need this last 2-meter thing of diffuser and we'll be good to go. All right, guys, so a quick comparison here. So we've got the new LED strip on the top and the old LED strip on the bottom. So it looks like everything is pretty much the same. The LED spacing is the same. The LEDs look fairly similar. So it's really just a wattage thing. So this strip is 28 watts per meter, and then this strip is 19 watts per meter. So we'll put the higher power in and see what we find out. So the even bigger difference is the BTF lighting strip, which is this chip on board strip versus the existing one that we have. So this existing one, the LEDs are much larger and there's 120 per meter. This BTF one, I don't know if I can zoom in close enough where you can actually, yep, you can kind of see the LEDs just below the silicone surface here, but I believe this one has 480 or 520 LEDs per meter. They're much tinier and they're right embedded on the strip, which is why the silicone is above it. So it's called F-cob or chip on board, COB cob. So we're gonna put this one up and see how it goes. The only real difference between these, I mean, there's a lot of differences, but one of the biggest differences that we're gonna see between these two is that I could only find this in a 6K. This is a 5K. So we will see how it looks. I'm excited to see, but if this works, this would be super awesome because it does come in the 10-meter roll. This is only the 5-meter roll, and we will see how it looks. So again, the super interesting thing is you can see it is 528 LEDs per meter. It's 6K, but it's only 14 watts per meter. The original, this strip actually is 19 watts per meter. So I'll be very interested to see on the efficiency. You know, we're greater than 90 CRI. This isn't waterproof, but it is a ton LEDs more per meter. And so we will see how it compares between the existing strip, the new strip, which is increased wattage, and then this chip on board strip. All right, so we have both strips up. I need to cut this end off and also strip the wires to hook them back up to this. But I forgot my wire strippers were upstairs, so we're bringing down the magic stairs to make it happen, to get up there and get the wire strippers. So both installed pretty easy. They're up there, they're pressed in. I'm not gonna put diffusers on them. So we'll get them fired up, and then once we get them fired up, we'll just do kind of an initial evaluation. But then tonight when it's dark, so I can be as objective as possible and not have any natural light coming in from the garage doors or anything like that, then we will come back and take our light measurements of each of these new 2 strips. But let's get upstairs, let's get the wire strippers, let's get the strips connected on both of these, and then we will see what they look like just fired up. All right, guys, all the lights are off, but we got the 2 new ones wired up. Let's get this party started. All right. So I can immediately tell the center is brighter. Wow, look at that. That is much, much brighter. I think that might be the ticket to get this lit up. This is pretty bright as well. This is the chip on board over here on this one. It is nice and bright, but I don't know if it's any brighter than the existing ones. And keep in mind, the existing ones have the diffusers on them still, so I might need to take those off so we can do an exact comparison. You can certainly tell the color difference between the 6K and the 5K here. So what I might do is put the diffusers back on just so we can get a side-by-side comparison, because we're gonna run the diffusers anyways, and then we will see what happens. But one thing I did wanna check is how hot these are getting with the LEDs in here. So if we can touch that, I mean, it is certainly warm. It's not crazy, but man, that is a much better, much brighter look with those LEDs. The only problem is they don't make them in a 10 meter. I wish they did, so we could test out what we have over here. So we will see. Let's get these diffusers on. All right, guys, so I have disconnected all the other power supplies. We've got one original light on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take measurements in the corner on this side and probably in the middle, and then we will see what those measurements are. I've got a piece of paper over here, I'll write those down. Then we will wire up the next one with the higher wattage per meter, and then we will shut that one off, do the same thing there, and then we'll come to the chip on board one, and we will see how it goes. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so this is exactly why we use actual data to figure out what's going on with our lights. So the light that's on right now actually turned out to be the dimmest. So this is the F cob. It is 528 LEDs per meter. It is 14 watts per meter. So it's the lowest power, which has some strong correlation to light output, power and light output, but it also has the largest amount of LEDs, which
you know, if you power a 16-inch or an 18-inch subwoofer and an 8-inch subwoofer the same wattage, you're going to get a lot more decibels from that 18-inch woofer than you would from the 8-inch, just because, you know, you've got more area, so more LEDs per meter. I was thinking that this might be brighter than the original, but it's not. So I'm going to try and do a picture-in-picture right now with the actual findings up here. So this was the dimmest, and with a max lux and of 52 lux right in the middle, right here, and a max foot candles of 4.8 foot candles. And how I was holding this, the light meter, was right here at, call it the working surface. So if I was, you know, working on a workbench or detailing a car or anything like that, I was holding the light meter consistently right here in the center of my abdomen. And so 52 lux, 4.8 foot candles. The original lights, which are 19 watts per meter, was 102 lux max and 9 foot candles. And the high power one, so basically an additional 10 watts of power for this strip, we were at 11.8 foot candles and 126 lux. So I still think, honestly, we are a little low. But the next experiment we are going to do is change out these other two, the other two original strips for the high-powered strip, and see how that goes. We know through this data that the 6K FCOB is not going to work. It's not going to put out enough light. I do have the 10 meter I was to put over in the big garage area. I was really hoping that's was going to work out, but I don't think it is. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put up the high-powered lights in these two strips. We'll see what the light output is. The only thing I'm concerned about is the heat. Like the aluminum channel, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get a one of those infrared thermometers and point it at this aluminum channel when it's been on for, we'll call it an hour of saturation, and see what the temperature is. That's the only thing I'm worried about. If it doesn't have enough light output, we can always do something else. But I do have 2 more strips that I purchased that we can put in this area and see what it's like. It's still, I think it's still gonna be a little dim, and you know, these LEDs are not very efficient. It's, you know, what is this, 19 or 29 watts per meter is a ton of wattage for an LED. So we will see. Thanks so much for joining us. If you have any questions about what we've done, please put it down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching Detached Garage. I hope to see you on the next episode.